It's a Tuesday night in September, and you're watching a keynote. You're on your couch, phone in hand, the same phone you've had for 18 months, the one that does everything you need it to do, the one you've never once thought about replacing until approximately 40 minutes ago when a man in a black turtleneck started listing things your phone can't do. By the time the presentation ends, something is shifted. The phone in your hand feels different. Not physically different, the hardware hasn't changed, the camera is still the same camera it was this morning, the battery still lasts the same amount of time, but it feels slower somehow, less capable, slightly embarrassing in a way it didn't feel before you watched someone unveil its replacement. That feeling is not accidental. It did not arise organically. It was engineered deliberately at significant expense by a company that needs you to feel it on a predictable schedule in order to extract a predictable amount of money from you every 24 to 36 months. My name is William. I think about why perfectly functional things suddenly feel broken the moment something newer exists. What I'm going to show you today is how the tech industry built a machine that costs the average American household hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime, not for genuine innovation, but for the carefully manufactured illusion of it. The number first, because the number is the point. The average smartphone replacement cycle in America is 2.8 years, not because phones stop working at 2.8 years. Modern smartphones are engineered to last 5 to 7 years with basic maintenance. Americans are replacing them at 2.8 years because the system is designed to make them feel necessary at 2.8 years. Those are different things. The average selling price of a smartphone in America now exceeds $850. Flagship devices routinely clear $1,000, $1,200, $1,400. If you upgrade every 2.8 years at $850 per device across a 40-year adult life, you will spend approximately $12,000 on smartphones alone. But smartphones are just the anchor. Add a laptop replaced every 3 to 4 years at $1,200, a tablet at $600 every 4 years, a smartwatch at $400 every 3 years, wireless earbuds at $200 every 2 years, smart home devices, dongles, accessories, the endless peripheral ecosystem that marketers convince you is essential until the next version makes it feel obsolete. The Consumer Technology Association found that the average American household spends approximately $1,700 per year on consumer electronics. Over 40 years, that's $68,000 in direct spending. If that money had been redirected into an index fund at 8% annual returns instead, it becomes approximately $340,000. You are not buying technology, you are buying scheduled dissatisfaction on a payment plan. And the schedule was set by the company selling the product, not by any genuine need on your end. How the machine works. Mechanism 1. Software obsolescence. In 2017, Apple admitted to deliberately throttling the performance of older iPhones through software updates. The stated reason was battery management. The practical effect was that phones released 2 and 3 years prior felt noticeably slower in the months surrounding a new model announcement. Users had suspected it for years. The $500 million settlement confirmed it. But throttling is only the most visible version of a broader practice. Every new operating system is built for the hardware that ships with it. When that update is pushed to older devices, technically compatible but not optimally resourced, the result is predictable. More lag, more crashes, more battery drain. Not because the hardware failed, because it was updated into degradation by software engineered for something newer and more expensive. Your phone didn't slow down because it aged. It slowed down because the company that sold it updated it into a performance state that makes replacement feel rational. The problem they created has exactly one solution they're willing to sell you. Mechanism 2. The design that prevents repair. An iPhone battery replacement through Apple costs $89 to $119. The battery itself costs approximately $15. The remainder is labor and deliberately restricted access, proprietary screws, fused components, parts unavailable to independent repair shops, software locks that disable Face ID if the screen is replaced by anyone other than an authorized technician.
The right to repair movement exists specifically because manufacturers made a series of choices: non-replaceable batteries, fused screens, component serialization that transformed a $15 repair into an $89 appointment, and an $89 appointment into a $1,200 upgrade decision for anyone doing the math on a 3-year-old phone. That math is not accidental. It was designed. Every friction point in the repair process is a gentle push toward the new device, and the new device is where the margin lives. Mechanism 3, the annual release cycle itself. This is the most elegant mechanism because it requires no technical intervention in your existing device at all. By launching new products on a predictable yearly schedule, tech companies have trained the consumer market to experience its current devices as incrementally obsolete with each passing month. The phone you bought in January feels capable and current. By September, the same phone, unchanged, still fully functional, still doing everything it did in January, feels like last year's technology. The keynote presentation doesn't just market the new device, it systematically markets dissatisfaction with the old one. Every camera comparison implies your photos are substandard. Every processing benchmark implies you're running behind. Every new feature is framed as something you're currently lacking, rather than something that didn't exist until this morning. You are not watching a product launch, you are watching a psychological operation. The target is not your wallet, the target is your satisfaction with what you already own. Once that satisfaction is compromised, the wallet follows naturally. The better problem: what improvement actually means in practice. Here is where the argument usually gets pushback. Technology does improve. New phones are genuinely faster, cameras are objectively better, screens are brighter. Isn't upgrading rational? A flagship phone from 2022 and a flagship phone from 2025 are both capable of handling everything 95% of users actually do with their devices: texting, calling, navigation, streaming, social media, photography good enough for any platform that will compress and re-encode the image you uploaded anyway. The 2025 model does these things approximately 3 to 5% faster. The camera performs marginally better in specific low light conditions most users rarely encounter. The screen is slightly brighter in direct sunlight, which makes no difference indoors, which is where most people use their phones. A study from Wayne State University found that users could not reliably distinguish between flagship smartphones across generations in blind tests performing everyday tasks. They could identify differences in synthetic benchmarks, tests specifically engineered to surface those gaps. In actual daily use scenarios, the devices were functionally identical. You are not paying $1,200 for a meaningfully better experience. You are paying $1,200 for the knowledge that you have the newest version. That is a psychological purchase, not a practical one. And psychological purchases are exactly what a $340,000 lifetime cost is made of, one rationalized upgrade at a time. The refurbished arbitrage nobody talks about. Here's the part of the conversation that the tech industry would prefer you skip entirely. When the upgrade illusion convinces someone to trade in a 2-year-old flagship toward a new model, that device enters the refurbished market, certified, cleaned, tested, still performing at flagship level, now available at 40 to 50% of its original retail price, because the marketing machine has successfully convinced its previous owner that it was no longer good enough. A refurbished iPhone 13 Pro in 2025 costs approximately $450. It does virtually everything an iPhone 16 Pro does for the daily tasks that constitute 95% of actual phone usage. The performance gap is measurable in benchmarks. It is imperceptible at the grocery store, on a commute, in a meeting, or on a couch watching a keynote presentation. The stigma around refurbished devices is manufactured by the same industry that profits from selling new ones. The devices are excellent, the savings are real, and the person buying refurbished is not compromising on capability. They are arbitraging the irrationality of everyone who upgraded before them. The lifetime math: two people, same needs, radically different outcomes. Two people, same income, same actual technology requirements. Person A upgrades their smartphone every 2 years at $1,000, their laptop every 3 years at $1,400, replaces accessories at the pace manufacturers recommend. Annual tech spending, approximately $2,800. Person B keeps their smartphone 4 to 5 years, buys certified refurbished flagships 2 generations behind, replaces laptops after 6 years with 1 battery replacement at year 3. Annual tech spending, approximately $900. The annual difference, $1,900. Over 30 years invested at 8% returns, approximately $214,000. $214,000, not from a salary increase, not from an investment strategy requiring expertise or risk tolerance, from the decision to stop letting a marketing machine set the replacement schedule for devices that still work. The upgrade illusion is not a minor financial inefficiency. It is a compounding wealth extraction system that operates on a 2 to 3 year cycle for a 40-year adult life. The individual transactions feel manageable because the payments are monthly and the dissatisfaction is fresh. The lifetime cost is genuinely staggering when you actually calculate it. What to actually do? 4 moves in order. The first move is to define your real use case and measure your current device against it honestly, not against what the new model can do theoretically, against what you actually do every day. If your daily usage is messaging, email, social media, navigation, and streaming, your 3-year-old device handles all of it. The new features being marketed to you were designed to create demand, not serve needs you already have. The second move is basic maintenance before replacement. Replace the battery. A $100 battery replacement on a phone that cost $1,000 is the best return on investment in consumer technology. Delete unused applications. The average smartphone carries 80 unused apps consuming storage and processing resources. Factory reset devices that have become sluggish before concluding they're finished. The performance ceiling on your current device is almost always higher than degraded software conditions suggest. The third move is to buy refurbished when you do need to upgrade. Apple, Samsung, and third-party certified vendors sell devices at 30 to 50% discounts with warranties that cover defects. The devices perform at flagship level. The price reflects the marketing machine's success at convincing the previous owner to move on, not any functional decline in the hardware itself. The fourth move is to set your own replacement intervals based on actual device failure, not marketing cycles. A smartphone should last 4 to 5 years. A laptop should last 6 to 7. A tablet should last 5 to 6. When the device genuinely cannot run the software you require, not when it runs it slightly slower than something newer would, that is the moment for replacement, not September, not when the keynote happens, when the device actually stops serving you. The phone in your pocket right now did not become worse last September. Your perception of it changed because billions of dollars were spent changing it. The dissatisfaction you feel toward a device that still works is not coming from the device. It is coming from a system that requires your dissatisfaction to generate its revenue. The average American will spend $68,000 on consumer electronics over their lifetime and convert the opportunity cost of that spending into something closer to $340,000 in foregone wealth, not from poverty, not from bad luck, but from the decision to let a product announcement set the terms of what's good enough. Your current phone works. Your current laptop works. The gap between what you have and what you need is almost certainly smaller than the gap between what you have and what exists, and only one of those gaps actually matters. Keep what works. Invest the difference. The upgrade can wait. Your net worth cannot.